Hello, dear listeners, and welcome to our podcast. My name is Sophia, and today we have a great topic driving. Driving is a big part of our daily lives. It helps us go to work, visit friends, and travel to new places. But driving is not just about sitting in a car and going forward. It is a skill that needs learning, practice, and responsibility.
Hello, everyone. My name is James, and I'm excited to talk about driving today. Whether you are just starting to learn or already know a little about it, this podcast will help you understand the basics. Now, let's start with an important question. Why do people learn to drive? Some people drive because they need to. Maybe their job is far from home, or there is no bus or train nearby. Others drive because they enjoy it. They love the freedom of going anywhere at any time.
That's right, James. Driving gives people freedom, but it also comes with responsibility. Roads are shared with other drivers, cyclists, and pedestrians. So we must follow traffic rules to keep everyone safe. Before you can start driving, you need to learn some important things. First, you must understand how a car works. There is a steering wheel to turn the car, pedals for speed and braking, and mirrors to see around you.
And don't forget the seat belt. Before you even start the car, the first thing to do is put on your seat belt. This is not just a rule, it can save your life in an accident.
Yes, and after that, check the mirrors. The rearview mirror and side mirrors help you see other cars and the road behind you. This is important for safe driving.
Once you are ready, you can start the engine. But remember, just starting the car does not mean you can drive right away. There are many things to learn before you go on the road.
Starting the engine is just the beginning. Before you move the car, you need to make sure everything is safe. Look around to check if there are people, bicycles, or other cars near you. If you are parked, use your mirrors to check behind you. When you are ready to move, press the brake pedal first. Then, put the car in the correct gear. If you are driving an automatic car, you move the gear to D for drive. If it is a manual car, you need to press the clutch, change the gear, and then slowly release the clutch while pressing the gas pedal.
That's right, Sophia, but driving is not just about moving the car. It's also about controlling your speed. Some people drive too fast, and that can be dangerous, especially in busy areas. That's why we have speed limit signs. These signs tell us the safest speed for each road. Another important thing is using turn signals. If you want to turn left or right, you must use your signal. This helps other drivers know what you are going to do. It makes the roads safer for everyone.
Good point, James. And speaking of safety, let's talk about traffic lights. A red light means stop, a green light means go, and a yellow light means slow down and be ready to stop. Some new drivers get nervous at traffic lights, but with practice, it becomes easy.
Yes, and when driving, always pay attention to road signs. They give important information. Some signs tell you to stop, some tell you the speed limit, and others warn you about things like sharp turns or school zones.
Driving is not just about following traffic lights and road signs. It's also about paying attention to everything around you. When you drive, you must always look ahead, check your mirrors, and be aware of other cars, pedestrians, and bicycles. One of the biggest dangers on the road is distractions. Some people look at their phones, talk too much to passengers, or even eat while driving. These things take your attention away from the road and can cause accidents. It is very important to stay focused when you are behind the wheel.
That's a great point, Sophia. Another important thing is keeping a safe distance from the car in front of you. If you drive too close, you may not have enough time to stop if the car in front suddenly slows down. A good rule is to leave at least 2 seconds of space between you and the car ahead. If the weather is bad, like when it's raining or snowing, you should leave even more space.
Yes, bad weather can make driving more difficult. Rain makes the road slippery, and fog makes it hard to see. When the weather is bad, you should drive more slowly and turn on your headlights so that other drivers can see you better.
And let's not forget about night driving. Driving at night is different from driving during the day because it is harder to see things in the dark. You should always use your headlights and be extra careful, especially on roads that do not have street lights.
That's true. And no matter if it's day or night, city or highway, always stay calm when driving. Some drivers get angry easily, but being patient on the road helps everyone stay safe.
Driving is not just about moving from one place to another, it's also about making good decisions on the road. Every time you drive, you have to think quickly and make the right choices. You must decide when to stop, when to go, and when to slow down. One important decision is knowing when to change lanes. If you need to switch lanes, first check your mirrors, then look over your shoulder to make sure no car is in your blind spot. After that, use your turn signals so other drivers know what you are going to do. When the lane is clear, move over smoothly.
That's right, James. Another important decision is when to pass another car. If the road has 2 or more lanes going in the same direction, you can pass on the left. But never pass in dangerous areas like curves or hills where you cannot see what's ahead. Also, always check for signs that tell you if passing is allowed.
Good point, Sophia. And speaking of decisions, let's talk about parking. Finding a good parking spot can sometimes be difficult, especially in busy cities. When parking, always make sure you are in the right place. Some areas are for buses, emergency vehicles, or disabled drivers, and parking there is not allowed.
Yes, and when parking, make sure your car is straight and not too close to other cars. If you are parking on a hill, turn your wheels toward the curb if you are parking downhill and away from the curb if you are parking uphill. This helps prevent the car from rolling.
Exactly. And before you leave your car, don't forget to turn off the engine, put on the parking brake, and lock the doors.
Driving is not just about knowing how to move the car, it's also about being a responsible driver. A responsible driver follows the rules, stays focused, and respects others on the road. One of the biggest responsibilities is never driving when you are too tired or not feeling well. If you are sleepy or sick, your reaction time is slower, and you might not see things clearly. It's always better to rest or ask someone else to drive instead.
That's a very important point, Sophia. Another responsibility is never driving after drinking alcohol. Even a small amount can make you less alert and affect your driving. That's why there are strict laws against drunk driving in many countries. If you ever drink, it's safer to take a taxi or ask a friend to drive.
Yes, safety should always come first. And another way to stay safe is to always wear your seatbelt. It doesn't matter if you are driving a short distance or a long one, seatbelts save lives.
That's true, and it's not just about protecting yourself. Good drivers also think about others. They drive carefully near pedestrians, stop for school buses, and give space to cyclists. Sharing the road is very important.
Absolutely, and the more you practice, the better you become. At first, driving can feel difficult, but with time, it becomes easier and more natural. The key is to stay patient, stay alert, and always keep learning.
That's a great way to end. Sophia, driving is a big responsibility, but when done safely, it gives people freedom and independence.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope this podcast helped you learn more about driving. Stay safe on the road, and see you next time.